Grab your coffee, dear viewer, because we're about to embark on a journey through time to the magnificent city of Babylon, where the secrets of wealth were woven and the wisdom of generations preserved. In this video, we'll dive deep into the timeless lessons of the richest man in Babylon, revealing how you can transform your financial life with simple yet powerful strategies. And if you're eager to continue this journey towards knowledge and success, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, so you'll always be in the loop on how to become the richest person in your world. Bansir, a chariot builder in Babylon, sits on a low wall surrounding his property, gazing sadly at his simple home and workshop where an unfinished chariot stands. His wife glances at him with concern, signaling that the food supplies are nearly depleted, and he should be working to complete the chariot to collect payment from his wealthy customer. However, his strong body remains on the wall, and his mind struggles with a problem for which he finds no solution. Under the scorching Babylonian sun, Bansir is lost in thought about his dire financial situation. Suddenly, Bansir hears the familiar sound of a lyre, and his close friend Kabi, the musician, appears before him. After exchanging greetings, Kabi asks why Bansir is sitting idle instead of working. Bansir reveals his frustration over a dream in which he saw himself as a wealthy man, freely spending money and living a life of luxury. Upon waking, he felt angry because his reality was starkly different. Despite working hard all his life, he had not earned enough to live comfortably. Bansir and Kabi discuss their lives, filled with hard work but no wealth. They wonder why, despite living in the richest city in the world, they still suffer from poverty. Kabi suggests visiting their old friend Arkad, known as the richest man in Babylon, to learn the secret of wealth. Arkad is not only rich but also highly respected, with even the king seeking his advice on treasury matters. Bansir and Kabi realize they need to learn how Arkad generates a steady income, regardless of circumstances. They believe the key to success lies in understanding how to create a continuous income stream, not just working hard. Bansir suggests gathering their old friends, who face similar struggles, to join them in seeking advice from Arkad. The story offers powerful lessons about the importance of knowledge in achieving financial success. Instead of continuing to work hard without direction, the story encourages seeking out ways to generate a consistent and sustainable income. The key lesson is that hard work alone is not enough to achieve wealth. It must be accompanied by an understanding of how to manage and invest money wisely. It also highlights the value of seeking guidance from successful individuals and learning from their experiences. Ultimately, the story encourages taking initiative and working towards financial improvement through learning and pursuing goals. Bansir, a chariot builder in Babylon, sits on a low wall surrounding his property, gazing sadly at his simple home and workshop where an unfinished chariot stands. His wife glances at him with concern, signaling that the food supplies are nearly depleted, and he should be working to complete the chariot to collect payment from his wealthy customer. However, his strong body remains on the wall, and his mind struggles with a problem for which he finds no solution. Under the scorching Babylonian sun, Bansir is lost in thought about his dire financial situation. Suddenly, Bansir hears the familiar sound of a lyre, and his close friend Kabi, the musician, appears before him. After exchanging greetings, Kabi asks why Bansir is sitting idle instead of working. Bansir reveals his frustration over a dream in which he saw himself as a wealthy man, freely spending money and living a life of luxury. Upon waking, he felt angry because his reality was starkly different. Despite working hard all his life, he had not earned enough to live comfortably. Bansir and Kabi discuss their lives, filled with hard work but no wealth. They wonder why, despite living in the richest city in the world, they still suffer from poverty. Kabi suggests visiting their old friend Arkad, known as the richest man in Babylon, to learn the secret of wealth. Arkad is not only rich but also highly respected, with even the king seeking his advice on treasury matters. Banser and Cobby realize they need to learn how Arkad generates a steady income, regardless of circumstances. They believe the key to success lies in understanding how to create a continuous income stream, not just working hard. Banser suggests gathering their old friends, who face similar struggles, to join them in seeking advice from Arkad. The story offers powerful lessons about the importance of knowledge in achieving financial success. Instead of continuing to work hard without direction, the story encourages seeking out ways to generate a consistent and sustainable income. The key lesson is that hard work alone is not enough to achieve wealth. It must be accompanied by an understanding of how to manage and invest money wisely. It also highlights the value of seeking guidance from successful individuals and learning from their experiences. Ultimately, the story encourages taking initiative and working towards financial improvement through learning and pursuing goals. 1. Start increasing your wallet. Save part of what you earn. For every 10 coins you get, spend only 9 and keep the rest. This principle helps build wealth gradually. 2. Control your expenses. Differentiate between needs and desires. Set a budget for your expenses to ensure that you live within your means and do not waste money on unnecessary desires. 3. Double your gold. Invest wisely to grow your wealth. Use your savings to generate additional income instead of leaving them idle. 4. Protect your treasures from loss. Be careful in investments. Avoid risky projects that may put your capital at risk and seek advice from experienced individuals to protect your wealth. 5. Make your home a profitable investment. Invest in your home. Owning real estate can reduce the cost of living and provide stability, as well as being a source of pride and comfort. 6. Ensure future income. Plan for retirement and provide for your family's needs in the future. Invest or set aside savings to support you in old age and protect your family if you are no longer around. 7. Increase your earning potential. Continuously improve your skills and knowledge to enhance your earning potential. Look for opportunities for advancement and growth to enhance your income over time. Meeting the goddess of luck. If a man is fortunate, it's unpredictable how good his luck might be. He might fall into the Euphrates River and come out holding a pearl. The desire to be lucky is a universal wish that was as strong in the hearts of people 4,000 years ago in ancient Babylon as it is today. The people of ancient Babylon were eager to learn how to attract good luck, which helped their city become the richest and most powerful of their time. At that time, there were no schools or universities, but there was a temple of learning where wisdom was shared and popular topics discussed. Among those who frequented this temple was a wise and wealthy man named Arkad, known as the richest man in Babylon. Arkad would meet with a group of men to discuss intriguing subjects. One evening, a garment weaver raised the topic of how to attract good luck. He mentioned that some people believe good luck is merely a coincidence, while others think the goddess Ishtar, who oversees luck, rewards those who please her. Arkad wanted to hear stories from those who found wealth without effort. When no one spoke, some suggested that luck could be found at gaming tables or chariot races. However, Arkad explained that luck isn't found in places where opportunities are structured to benefit the game or race. Instead, Arkad believed that luck comes to people who invest seriously in fields like agriculture and trade. When a merchant shared a story about missing out on an investment opportunity because he was slow to act, everyone realized how luck can slip away if opportunities aren't seized in time. Another merchant talked about missing a chance to buy a flock of sheep at a low price because the city was closed to him, and he lost the opportunity to sell at a higher price later. Arkad emphasized the importance of acting quickly when opportunities arise, as delays can deny success. Luck isn't just a chance occurrence. It's a result of seizing opportunities. A merchant who delays is known as a dawdler, and everyone wished to overcome this obstacle to achieve success. The 5 Laws of Gold. In a small tent, a group of men gathered around the fire, listening intently to their elder, who spoke with the authority of a father. He began by reminding them that men often choose gold over wisdom, which leads to the loss of their wealth. He then proceeded to recount the story of the 5 laws of gold, as told to him by Namasir, the son of the richest man in Babylon. Namasir had shared with his father that he spent years experimenting with different ways to accumulate wealth. Initially, he lost his fortune through unsuccessful bets and unwise partnerships. But after enduring many painful experiences, he returned to his father's teachings and adhered to the 5 laws of gold, which are: the first law, gold comes joyfully and in increasing amounts to anyone who saves at least 10% of their income to build wealth for their future and their family. The second law, gold works diligently and happily for the wise owner who finds profitable uses for it, multiplying just as the flocks in the field grow. The third law, gold stays safe with a cautious owner who invests it under the guidance of wise advisors. The fourth law, gold slips away from those who invest it in unfamiliar or unproven ventures not endorsed by experienced individuals in the field. The fifth law, gold flees from the person who seeks impossible returns, follows the advice of fraudsters, or trusts in limited knowledge and romantic dreams of investment. The laws illustrate that gold comes naturally to those who earnestly follow these principles. Namasir learned that wealth is not merely a gift, but requires knowledge, caution, and wise investment. The elder concluded his talk by stating that true wealth comes first from knowledge, and then from persistent effort according to these laws. The Gold Lender of Babylon. In ancient Babylon, where gold was a symbol of power and wealth, the story centers around Rodin, a skilled shield maker. Rodin led a simple life, working diligently to earn his daily bread. One day, the king awarded Rodin 50 pieces of gold as a token of appreciation for his craftsmanship. Although Rodin was pleased with the gift, he felt uncertain about how to manage such a significant amount of wealth. Fearing that this newfound wealth might bring more problems than comfort, Rodin decided to seek advice from Mathan, a renowned gold lender and jeweler in Babylon, known for his expertise in financial matters. Mathan kept a box filled with records of past loans he had made, using it as a tool to teach others about wise money management. When Rodin met with Mathan, he expressed his concerns about handling the loan requests he was receiving from friends and family. He spoke of his sister and her husband, who had asked for some money, and his worries that these requests might create undue pressure. Mathan listened attentively and began to explain how to handle these situations wisely. He shared the story of a farmer from Nineveh who had the unique ability to understand the language of animals. The farmer had helped a friend in need, but this assistance ended up as an additional burden rather than the comfort he had hoped for. Mathan emphasized the importance of thoughtful decision-making when lending money, noting that assistance should be given with careful consideration to avoid financial issues. Mathan stressed the need to verify the borrower's ability to repay and ensure that loans are backed by adequate guarantees. He pointed out that the right decision is one that ensures the return of the lent gold without falling into financial troubles. In the end, Rodin learned from Mathan's advice that managing money requires wisdom and patience. He decided to follow the guidelines Mathan had provided to avoid future financial problems, understanding the importance of recovering the lent gold and not letting social pressures influence his financial decisions. The Walls of Babylon. Old Banzer, a veteran warrior, stood guard at the top of the ancient walls of Babylon, where a fierce battle raged below. The city's future depended on these walls, as they faced an unexpected attack from the Assyrians, while Babylon's main forces were far away. The city was under siege, and the defenders fought bravely against the attackers climbing platforms and battering rams. The noise of battle, men shouting, horses trampling, and rams pounding the gates, filled the air. Citizens, terrified and anxious, gathered around Banzer, seeking reassurance. An elderly merchant worried about his family and possessions, a pregnant woman concerned for her wounded husband, and a frightened child all turned to Banzer for comfort. He assured them that the walls were strong and would protect them, just as they had in the past. Banzer, stationed at the crucial point of attack, provided steadfast reassurance with dignity. Despite the relentless violence of the siege, with daily bloodshed and tears of fallen attackers, he remained resolute. After nearly 4 weeks of constant assault, the noise of battle began to diminish. On the 5th night, the retreating Assyrians raised clouds of dust, signaling their withdrawal. The defenders and citizens erupted in a victorious cheer, celebrating the city's survival. The walls of Babylon had once again proven their strength, repelling a determined enemy. The city's endurance through the centuries was a testament to its robust defenses. This story highlights humanity's inherent need for protection, a need that persists today through modern means like insurance and savings, safeguarding us from unforeseen tragedies. The story begins with Tarkad, a young man in Babylon who is extremely hungry, having eaten only 2 small figs over the past 2 days. As he walks through the market, he is tempted by the smells of food but restrains himself from stealing due to an earlier unpleasant encounter with a market woman. He hopes to meet someone who might lend him a small amount of money to buy food. Unexpectedly, Tarkad encounters Dabasar, a camel trader from whom he had borrowed money in the past. Dabasar is eager to collect his debts and confronts Tarkad about the 2 pieces of copper and a silver coin he is owed. Tarkad, feeling embarrassed and hungry, admits he cannot repay the debt. Dabasar, while eating a lavish meal, offers to share a tale from his past instead. Dabasar recounts his early life as a saddle maker in Babylon, where he lived beyond his means and accumulated debt. Despite his initial success, he became trapped in financial difficulties and eventually lost everything. His situation worsens when he joins a band of robbers, and after being captured, he is sold into slavery in Syria. As a slave, Dabasar is offered to become a eunuch but manages to avoid that fate by proving his skills as a camel tender. He reflects on his situation, contemplating whether he has the soul of a slave or a free man. Sarah, the chief's wife who helps him, challenges him to prove his worth and strive for freedom rather than resigning to his fate. She encourages him to fight his debts and reclaim his honor. Dabasar escapes with the camels and embarks on a grueling journey back to Babylon. Despite facing extreme hardships, including lack of food and water, he is driven by his determination to repay his debts and restore his dignity. He overcomes these challenges and finally reaches Babylon, where he repays his creditors and earns back his self-respect. The story ends with Dabasar inviting Tarkad to join him for a meal, symbolizing his return to prosperity and generosity. Dabasar's tale serves as a powerful lesson about perseverance, the value of facing one's responsibilities, and the importance of maintaining a free and honorable spirit. The story of Dabasar's financial wisdom. Once upon a time in ancient Babylon, a man named Dabasar returned home from a long period of slavery in Syria. He was burdened by debt and sought to reclaim his dignity and wealth. Determined to improve his life, Dabasar sought the advice of Mathan, a wise gold lender. Mathan shared with Dabasar a simple yet powerful financial plan to transform his fortunes. The plan consisted of 3 main principles. 1. Save a portion. Dabasar was to set aside 1/10 of all his earnings for personal savings. This savings would ensure he always had money to fall back on, providing security and stability. 2. Support his family. He was instructed to use 7/10 of his income to support his household. This included providing for his wife and ensuring their home was comfortable without overspending. 3. Repay debts. The remaining 2/10 of his earnings were to be used to repay his creditors. By consistently paying off his debts, Davasar would gradually clear his financial obligations and regain his honor. Following Mathan's advice, Davasar carefully recorded the names of all his creditors and the amounts owed. With determination, he began to apply the plan, making regular payments and living within his means. Despite facing challenges with some creditors who demanded quicker repayment, Davasar remained steadfast. Over time, he managed to reduce his debt and save money. His diligence and adherence to the plan gradually improved his financial situation. His debts were paid off, and he began to enjoy the fruits of his hard work. Years later, the tablets recounting Davasar's journey were discovered in the ruins of Babylon. They revealed his success and the wisdom of his financial strategy. Alfred H. Shrewsbury, a professor in England, came across these tablets and was inspired by Davasar's story. Shrewsbury and his wife were struggling with their own financial issues, and they decided to implement the same plan. They meticulously followed Davasar's advice, cutting their living expenses and dedicating a portion of their income to pay off debts. They also invested their surplus wisely. The results were remarkable. They managed to clear their debts and build a secure financial future. Shrewsbury's gratitude for Davasar's ancient wisdom was profound. The plan, which had guided Davasar from debt to prosperity, continued to provide valuable lessons even after 5,000 years. Davasar's story and financial strategy became a testament to the timeless nature of sound financial principles. As they travel together, Sharanana observes Hayden Gula's appearance, his rings, earrings, and luxurious robes, and thinks to himself that while the young man has his grandfather's strong features, he lacks his grandfather's simplicity and hard-working nature. Sharanana reflects on the vast difference between Hayden's life and his own past, which was marked by hardship and struggle. Sharanana reminisces about his past, revealing to Hayden that he was once a slave. This revelation shocks Hayden, as his grandfather never mentioned Sharanana's former status. Sharanana explains how he and Arad Gula became business partners, and how their partnership was rooted in mutual respect and hard work. He recounts the story of how he was chained as a slave, sold into bondage after his father could not raise the money to free him. As they continue their journey, they pass by 3 old men plowing a field, and Sharanana reflects on how they have been working the same land for decades, while he has risen to become a wealthy and respected merchant. He points this out to Hayden, emphasizing the value of hard work and persistence. Sharanana then recounts the difficult conditions of his early life, describing how he and other slaves were forced to carry heavy bricks and work under harsh overseers in Babylon. He recalls the fear and despair he felt, knowing that his future depended on his ability to survive the brutal labor. However, Sharanana's determination to improve his situation never wavered. Eventually, Sharanana's hard work and dedication earned him the favor of his master, who recognized his value and rewarded him with better opportunities. Sharanana seized these opportunities to prove his worth, ultimately gaining his freedom and becoming a successful merchant. Through this story, Sharanana seeks to impart important lessons to Hayden Gula: the importance of hard work, resilience, and the willingness to face adversity. He hopes that Hayden will learn from his experiences and carry on his grandfather's legacy with honor and diligence. The story ends with Sharanana reflecting on the journey they've taken, both literally and metaphorically, and the hope that Hayden will rise to the challenge of his heritage. Babylon, one of the most illustrious cities in history, was renowned for its wealth and splendor. Contrary to popular belief, it was situated in a flat, arid valley beside the Euphrates River, with no forests or mines. Despite its challenging environment, Babylon's wealth was a result of human ingenuity rather than natural resources. The Babylonians developed advanced irrigation systems to transform the arid land into fertile farmland, a significant engineering feat of their time. The city's rulers were known for their wisdom and justice, and although Babylon engaged in numerous local and defensive wars, it avoided the destructive ambitions seen in other empires. Babylon's location, about 600 miles east of the Suez Canal and north of the Persian Gulf, had a climate similar to modern-day Yuma, Arizona, hot and dry. Today, the site of Babylon is a desolate wasteland, with only remnants of its past splendor. Once a thriving center of trade and agriculture, the region is now sparsely populated by nomadic Arabs. Archaeologists have uncovered the city's ancient ruins, revealing it to be a significant historical site. Babylon's history dates back over 8,000 years, with evidence from eclipse records helping to establish its timeline. Babylon was renowned for its early advancements in engineering, astronomy, mathematics, and finance. The Babylonians built extensive irrigation canals and reclaimed swampy lands, contributing to their agricultural success. Herodotus, the Greek historian, described Babylon as a city of great fertility and abundant harvests. The city's grandeur is also remembered through its impressive walls, once considered one of the 7 wonders of the world. The original walls, attributed to Queen Semiramis, were later replaced by larger, more famous walls built by King Nabopolassar and completed by his son, Nebuchadnezzar. These walls were approximately 160 feet high and stretched between 9 and 11 miles, but little remains of them today due to natural erosion and later quarrying. Babylon's fall came around 540 BC, not through direct siege, but through strategic maneuvering by Cyrus the Great. The city was eventually abandoned, leaving behind a legacy of wisdom and innovation. Although its physical structures have crumbled, the contributions of Babylonian civilization continue to influence the world today.